I know they are, but like I don't want to keep stealing them. Hello, boys, and welcome back to yet another episode of I Suck at Fantasy Football, hosted by myself. We have an action-packed week this week. We got a lot of fellas running the half this weekend, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do some predictions here, and yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so starting off, I'm just going to get this out of the way. So, Pushan, your weather report, you're going to see a high of 11,414 degrees and a low of 11,396 degrees this week. And for activities that you can do, you can implement policies that allow for unaffordable housing and more homeless people. Okay, so starting off, Ford, I'm just going to churn out your South Boston forecast for the next few days. Beautiful weather. Thursday, you're going to be sunny, high of 77. Definitely enjoy that day. It is, in fact, March, so maybe take that TV that your boss put in your office and just take it outside. Just work from outside this week. It's gorgeous. And the coldest it's going to get for you is going to be 38 degrees Wednesday at about 7 a.m. But other than that, your days are going to be gorgeous down in South Boston. So, Makosi, thank you for filling out the tracker, but your weather in Fort Meade, it's going to be pretty nice the next 2 days. It's supposed to rain on Friday, but you're going to be in Tyson's anyway. So, weather is going to be 75 degrees Thursday. That's going to be your warmest day and partly cloudy. Wednesday is looking like your worst non-rain day, where it's only going to be a high of 69, but it's going to be cloudy and gloomy all day. And then Makosi also put Bangladesh for Saturday, which could very well be a joke, but screw it, I'm covering it anyway. Also, when you look up weather Bangladesh on Google, nothing comes up. It's just like, because, it's a country. So I'm going off Dhaka here. So Monday, it's actually going to be 100 degrees in Dhaka, the 18th. I can't find any info for Saturday, but the UV index will be 6, but for some reason I can't find any temperature or precipitation that day. But your UV index will be 6. Then as for things to do in Bangladesh, no, I'm not even going to go there. That's all the info I could get because the weather website for Dhaka, Bangladesh kept crashing. I'm not kidding. Like, I can't access it anymore. All right, so Briggs is going to be in Boston this week, so up until race day. So, Briggs, your weather, it looks okay. High of 57 on Thursday. That's going to be your warmest temperature you're going to see all week, and it's going to be on a partly cloudy day. Expect some rain on Fridays with a high of 44, low of 40, and then the weekend's a wash, but you'll be in Arlington anyway. And then Briggs, something that you can do this week while you're in Boston, just two that come to mind. You can go down that cop slide and absolutely eat it, or you could throw tea into the harbor. I mean, your choice. I'm sorry that neither one of those jokes are relevant anymore because one is about 6 months old and the other's 200 years old. Okay, so Brett, despite being further south, you have worse weather than South Boston this week. Almost shockingly similar forecast, just with more rain. Expect rain on Friday and Sunday of this week. This Thursday, however, will be a high of 77. Beautiful day.
I was really considering, because I know my professor teaches the exact same class at 11 a.m.
All right, Brett.
How many Alka-Seltzers?
This is Alka-Seltzer cup number 2.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Brett. Okay, so Brett, considering you are not going to Arlington this weekend or somewhere exotic, it's you and Pushan. I say you join a book club this weekend because everyone else is going to be running up in DC, and I think you should read a book. I think you'd learn a lot from that. I have a really good recommendation. It's about a particular insect that's just very, very hungry, and he keeps eating, and he becomes a butterfly. And then after that one, read Grapes of Wrath. Forgot about Clay, but Clay is in Florida, so he's actually somewhere fun. So Clay in Destin, I'm assuming you're in Destin this week for your spring break, but expect rain all weekend. Particularly thunderstorms on Sunday. You may be gone by then, but it's not looking good for you, buddy. It's also going to be cold. It's going to be warmer in South Boston and Blacksburg than it will be in Destin, Florida. So gear up for that, buddy. Your warmest day is going to be Thursday, which is 71 and cloudy. And then as for things to do, this is a great one. You and your buddy should go to Home Depot and buy shovels. And hear me out. Walk down the beach with the shovels until you find a kid digging a hole. And then you need to post up right next to it and dig a way bigger hole to assert dominance over this little kid to prove that he ain't shit. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, more heart-wrenching than being a little kid digging a hole on a beach, and then next thing you know, your big hole gets shown up by a way bigger hole. You should absolutely do that, and then sit in the hole and drink beer. Okay, so at long last, we are finally covered everyone who is not running. So now we can focus the rest of this video just on the race. So the weather on Saturday doesn't look amazing. High of 64, low of 47. I guess you want it a little bit cold when you're running. However, it's also going to be cloudy, which is nice because then the sun's not blistering on you. So overall, I think it's a good day for a half marathon. I don't know. I've never run more than 1 mile at a time in my life, so I don't really know. On saying that last part, Nate brought up a good point to me. I have swam more distance without stopping than I have running. I've walked more than a mile at once, but I've never ran more than a mile in one fell swoop. Okay, honestly, I forgot where I left off, but I'm going into my predictions for the race right now. At the bottom, I have Cal. And this isn't a knock against Cal's athletic ability. However, I feel like there's a strong chance that Cal fumbles this and either sleeps through the race or gets distracted midway through and just doesn't complete it. I know we were joking about this, but Cal genuinely seems like that type of dude who would take an Uber to the finish line. I could also see him planning on driving from Roanoke to DC Saturday morning. Like, that's his plan, that's his plot, and just not getting there in time. But Cal, if you do make it to the race and finish it, I think you'll perform pretty well. Something tells me it's not going to go your way. This is a test. For some reason, TikTok deleted like half the video. So, yeah. Okay, so next up we have Ishan. As we know, those knees don't bend. I don't want to say Isha's taking care of his body, but he does enjoy lifting quite a bit. We'll see how cardio flares out for him. Okay, sorry about that. So next up for predictions, we have Rag. Rag, I love you. I'm very proud of you and all the progress that you've made. But I think your old habits will catch up to you during this race, and I can't see you finishing higher than third from last. Okay, so next up we have Scott. Scott, you were originally a lot lower on this list considering you are a gigantic human being. However, you have earned a lot of respect and bumped your way up a few places just based off the golf punishment that you finally did. Very proud of you for that, by the way. Cheers to my fellow fantasy loser. And, yeah, you're up next. Okay, so next up, Briggs. I have no idea where to put you on this list, in all honesty. I have a strong feeling that you're not going to train whatsoever for this. However, I could see you performing as high as top 2 or like bottom 2 with no training. I don't know how, but I have some feeling you're going to pull it out. Next up, we have Rob. Rob's been working really hard on this half marathon. I'm really proud of you. However, your stride length, I do think, holds you back a bit. Plus, you haven't drank since New Year's, so you don't have the power of alcohol to keep you going. Ford, you're up next. I know you've been working hard. There's not a lot to do in South Boston, as I have established many times, so I'm sure you've been grinding pretty hard to try to train for this one. And then next to goes Kyle and then Sutton. They run a lot. They train a lot for this kind of thing. I think that Sutton has the edge just based off stride length alone. And yeah, plus I could also see Sutton running this off like 2 hours of sleep and still doing well. And then finally, in first place, we have Gritty. Grace, put all these dudes in the dirt. See you next week.